Hello and welcome back to the Canary Chat channel. Today we just have a quick kind of review of the Norwich City versus Watford game last night. Obviously Carabao Cup game. Norwich won 2-1 with goals coming from Sargent and Nunez, and then obviously the Watford goal coming from Barr. I think it was a pretty good game. Starting with the lineup, we had Grimshaw in goal, Fisher, Medic, Darling, Crescene and Diallo, Topic, Nunez, Emi Marcondes, Oscar Fortau and Josh Sargent up top. It looked like we were playing kind of like a 3 at the back and then a 4 at the back at certain points, with how Crescene was tucking in on the left hand side, supporting Diallo. Diallo had a very good game, obviously, going forward, but I think he also provided a bit of kind of pace and recovery coming back, which was really nice to see as well. So, yeah, we'll get into player ratings towards the end of the kind of video, but I do think Diallo had a very good game. Just quickly, about 70% of the people watching this video are not subscribed. Set a very audacious task of hitting 2,000 subscribers by the end of the transfer window. So if you're enjoying the videos, you're enjoying the content, you want to support the channel, so click the subscribe button down below, and if you want to become a member, click the link in the description and that'll take you to the members page. I think Medic had another tricky kind of introduction to English football. I do think he was partially at fault for their goal, got kind of done very easily on a 1v1. And as well as that, there was a couple of good interceptions in there, and he looked pretty calm on the ball. I do think it was a more reassured performance than the Millwall one, but nevertheless, I still think he is just settling in. The high press worked exceptionally well. Again, their goal coming from that Marcondes pressing, Sarge pressing, Diallo pressing, and it all kind of worked really well. For Sarge's goal, it was the high press, came back to Diallo, who beat his man, cut it back. Sarge, lovely little finish, and a nice tap in, doesn't miss those, and I believe that was his 50th goal for the club. And then, yeah, long distance shot from Nunez, very poor goalkeeping, just went straight through his hands. It was hit well, but any professional goalkeeper should really be saving that. Diallo does technically get the assist there, although it was a shot from kind of 25 odd yards out. Diallo still racks up another assist, so that'll certainly do his confidence the world of good. As I said, their goal, Medic was beaten, went through Grimshaw basically at the near post, which wasn't the most convincing part of his game. Grimshaw, I do think, again, he had a steady-ish game. His distribution looked all right. He wasn't overly tested, and the one time that he was, it did sneak in near post, which isn't ideal. We've had that issue in the past with kind of a long and gun. Sometimes their near post has been their weakness, but it was nice to see Grimshaw given a run out, especially with kind of having that competition with Kovacevic. Is it completely cut and dry that Kovacevic is number one? I would say so, but I think if Grimshaw can provide very good cup competition cover, I think he could be knocking at the door. I think Kovacevic was okay, but he didn't have the most convincing game, and obviously he's looking to settle into English football like Medic is, so it is obviously going to take time there, but I don't think Grimshaw's done anything to disrupt that as of yet. Jurasek came on for kind of 10 minutes towards the end. Another interesting one, I think people were saying that if he didn't get any minutes today, then he would most likely be going out on loan. He did get 10 minutes, didn't start the game, which isn't maybe ideal. Some would say it's down to his fitness, but I think people are slowly getting a little bit bored of the fitness excuse with Jurasek, considering we did sign him in January. He didn't play a lot, but he has had a couple of long-term injuries which has kept him out, so that can take an effect on his fitness performance. So yeah, certainly one to keep an eye out for, but I do think there's still some question marks around where his future lies. And the other bit of big news was that Forson, unfortunately, is now out for months, is the quote. The first scan hasn't gone well after the injury against Millwall. It does seem like it's going to be a long-term injury, which is an absolute gut for Forson. I just think that's his position to nail on down. And obviously Marcondes was linked with moves away to Gremio and Brazil, and potentially was looking to go out the door, but the fact that Forson's now had this injury, that's in a position that Marcondes can play, and yesterday played it very well, could mean that Marcondes may now stay. So there is that potential as well. So that injury does spice it up a little bit in terms of the contest for certain positions, and I think Marcondes, will be one of the players that benefits from that. In regards to the rest of the game, I do think we controlled the first half really well. We did make some subs. Topic came off. We had Sarge come off as well. I do think when we took Topic out, we did lose a bit of structure in that midfield. I think he's going to be pivotal for us this season. He's looked very assured on the ball, and like he can just step in the right places. When there's a loose pass, he closes down that space rather than sits off, and I think that creates a different dynamic in our team. I'm just very excited that we've got him. I think he could be an absolute diamond that we've found there. But in regards to player ratings, I've gone with a 6 for Grimshaw. I do think he looked relatively comfortable, but as I said, he wasn't overly tested. The one time that he was, he's beaten his near post, but everything else part of his game, his distribution, I actually thought was quite good. So I didn't really want to kind of put him as a 5. I thought that was maybe a little bit harsh, but a 6 could have been a 7. Obviously, could have been a 7 had he had kind of made a good save for that bar attempt. Fisher, I've gone with 6. Reflecting on it, I couldn't remember anything kind of groundbreaking that he did. He covered the ground well, kind of in that in that right wing back / right back position. But yeah, nothing groundbreaking either side for me there. Medic, gone with 5. I don't want him to end up being a scapegoat or anything like that for this season. I actually think, maybe I should go 6. I'm not sure. I was going to say maybe similar to Grimshaw, that if they share responsibility, I think he probably gets a 6 actually. So I'll go with a 6 because I do think he was reading the game really well. His passing was really good. It was just that he got caught out on a couple of occasions, and on one of those occasions they did score from it. So let's go with a 6 on that one. Darling, gone with 8. I thought his reading of the game is absolutely superb, second to none. His passing, his distribution, everything that he does with the ball was absolutely fantastic. It does seem like we've found that answer to that centre-back that we've been waiting for a very long time. And yeah, I think he is going to be kind of 100% the man that we need to keep fully fit to push for any kind of top 6 or any kind of promotion campaign. Crescene put 7. I thought he supported Diallo really well, and it was one of his more assured games. Topic, I went with 8 as well. I thought similar to Darling, nothing like crazy, but it was just the way that he reads the game, passes, those interceptions, and I think we did look a worse team when he came off the pitch, and that is just commendable to how well he was performing. Nunes, 7. I thought he worked well with Topic. The goalkeeper should have saved his shot, however, so didn't want him to get like extra points, too many extra points there. But I think it was one of Nunes's better games compared to especially the back end of last season, where I think he really went off the ball. I think this one was definitely a lot better from Nunes. Went with Diallo, 8. I thought he just had a great game. 2 assists. That one for Nunes is slightly generous, but I would say that he was beating kind of anyone that he was going up against. He was making Watford look a bit silly at times, and I think he's a very, very special player. So I went with an 8 there. I do think without him, we could have struggled to break Watford down in places. Emmy, I went with 7. I just think he put an absolute workhorse kind of shift in. He covered so much ground, it was ridiculous. So, and his game, well, his pressing gave us one of those goals, I think. So he went with 7. Oscar went with 6. I think he went a bit in and out of the game. Don't think he did anything crazy good or crazy bad, but I do think there was a little moment here and there with little flicks and passes. But I think there was also times where he maybe went with the wrong pass to open up Watford. And then Sarge 7, very solid finish. I thought once again it was great pressing. I think he's the man that keeps on giving, and if we can keep him at Norwich, I do genuinely think top 6 is quite achievable, as long as we keep him fit. So they're the kind of first team ratings. I haven't done substitutes or anything like that. I did think McCammon came on, and I thought he looked really good, really sensible in the decision making as well about getting the ball into the corner. But yeah, I thought all in all a very solid performance, a much needed lift after Saturday, because I think some fans were getting a little bit angsty about what to expect. I think we've maybe put like the reassurance that actually maybe Saturday wasn't formation. It was actually more around the personnel that we had in those positions. For me, Diallo has to start now. I think he, yeah, as I said, was exceptional. But yeah, leave a comment down below on your thoughts on the game. If you've liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you very shortly for another video.